Back in Milwaukee, the Rebels of Ole Miss, the Tar Heels of North Carolina, and Lauren Shahadi. North Carolina has gone from the first four to the round of 64.
That's right, Kevin. Hubert Davis and his team know all the opinions about whether or not they should be in the NCAA tournament. They are here and they are winning. I pulled Coach aside at practice yesterday. I said, how do you quiet it down? How do you quiet the noise and keep them focused? He said, put down the phone. It's what every adult tells every kid across the land, right? Ignore the noise. Your season, he told me, is to be celebrated. And if you really want everyone to be quiet, win. It works every single time, Kevin.
And they seem, Lauren, to be peaking at the right time. As we said, they've gone 9-2 over the last 11. But Dan, there was a change to the lineup. You touched on it, which has changed things for North Carolina.
Well, they were trying to play a small lineup with three guards. Seth Trimble was in the starting lineup, but Jalen Withers is the key guy. They moved him into the 4 spot. He's able to help spread the floor because he shoots the 3. Ole Miss, of course, we're talking about how balanced they are.
They've got it a lot. And here we've got, Stan, 2 Final Four coaches going head-to-head.
Yeah, both these coaches have taken teams to the championship game and would love to get back that far again.
Chris Beard brought Texas Tech to that terrific position. Hubert Davis has done it. And here are the officials this afternoon. Brian Dorsey in his 27th season. He's officiated a Final Four in 15 tournaments. Jeb Hartness in his 23rd year, 15th NCAA tournament. He's done 5 Sweet 16s. And Deldre Carr in his 10th NCAA tournament today. The Tar Heels beat San Diego State Tuesday in the first 4 by 28. They made 50% from 3, hitting 14 of them. They shot well. They come in with momentum against the 22-11 Ole Miss Rebels.
Absolutely. Great momentum, and that was a confidence-building win the other night. It's as good as they have looked.
They shot the ball so well, 52% overall. And a shot outside, Cadeau can't get it. And the other way comes Sean Pedulla. He is a senior from Edmond, Oklahoma.
Now, Cadeau is not their best three-point shooter, but he has been shooting the 3 very well of late.
Trey Davis throwing to Dia. With a drive inside and knocked out of bounds. Juju Murray.
Well, it's interesting, Dan, with Drake Powell on Pedulla. He's got a lot of size. It could give Pedulla some problems today.
Well, you got to run Pedulla off that 3-point line.
Wide open inside. Nice stuff. Trey Davis.
Total breakdown there from North Carolina. I don't know if they were supposed to be switching or what they wanted. And you see right here, Ole Miss will switch almost everything in terms of pick and roll on the perimeter.
Powell just about lost it. There's a 3 from the side. Won't go. Withers can hit. It's Pedulla the other way. 3rd team All-SEC.
On North Carolina, they shot the 3 very well the other night, Kevin, as you indicated, but they can't just settle for 3s.
It's Murray. And back out to Pedulla with a fake and a drive and a thicket of defenders awaiting. Davis. It's a 3.
Wow, good start for Dre Davis right there. Averages 10.4. He's got 5 already. He's only a 31% three-point shooter.
North Carolina needs to go inside.
And they do right there, Dan, out of your mouth and off the glass. And then Alan Lubin gets the 2.
He's another guy who's really picked up his play as the season goes on. You saw right there, he's got great hands.
Well, he did a great job keeping the ball up right there. Ole Miss switches on everything. He had Pedulla on him, never brought it down. But Juju Murray knocks down that 3. Had a lot of good guards in this game.
A lot of good guards, but not a lot of size, Stan, on either team.
No, 2 of the smaller teams in the tournament, particularly for power conference teams.
Powell was driving and firing. And the Rebels got it. Here comes Murray down the middle, looking one way, throwing the other on the side. Morrell, no, leaping, rebound, snared by Davis. And out of bounds he falls. It's North Carolina's ball.
And Sean Pedulla just patient, Dan.
Well, he gets into the lane and, you run him off the 3-point line. That's one thing, but you got to prevent him from making that easy pass. And North Carolina, one of the reasons for their improvement is they've improved defensively, but they have looked like they're back on their heels defensively here early in the game.
Dia is out for the Rebels. Brakefield has come in for Ole Miss. Withers looking inside, knocked away right there by Morrell. Off the bench with a nice defensive deflection, and then stolen the other way. And here comes Davis.
North Carolina's got to move this Ole Miss defense around.
Wow, that was so high and unreachable for Withers. Out of bounds off of the Tar Heels. Watch live men's games on your computer, phone, tablet, or streaming device with NCAA March Madness Live. Download now. That's a look at their season right there. Ole Miss, they don't turn it over much. Guys have laid out this one. Pedulla will take it in and kick it out. Brakefield 3. It's Jamin Brakefield knocking it in. Timeout taken, North Carolina. And a 9-point early lead for Ole Miss.
Well, Ole Miss, Brakefield was a 3-year starter who went to Chris Beard and said, bring me off the bench. He comes in and does this.
Every dunk, every three, every upset, fan work is thirsty work. Stay refreshed with Coke Zero Sugar. Is it the best Coke ever? 9-point lead for Ole Miss as we take a look at the advanced stats presented by Invesco QQQ. Yeah, they don't turn it over.
And they force a lot of turnovers.
Yep.
It's been a big part of their success. That's a huge turnover margin. And it makes up for the fact that they are not a good rebounding team
Ball
at
kicked
either
out.
end.
Kevin, I was just listening to Coach Davis in that huddle. He said, why are they getting so many open looks? If you don't guard the perimeter, they will shoot at will. I need you to fight for the ball and get in their face.
It's Cadeau. Powell. Hounded by Barnes. Off the bench and in the game they go inside. Nice over-the-shoulder catch. Van Allen Lubin puts it up in, and he's played at Notre Dame, Vanderbilt. Now he plays for North Carolina.
You know, Ole Miss does switch everything, and I think you got to move your people around to force switches to create some mismatches.
No
and North
question.
Carolina's, they're not moving the ball from side to
Carolina
side.
worked that hard on that yesterday, and right there, Withers came over to get the high-low down in there. Excellent pass. Morrell fronting the post.
It's a three, and it's down the hatch. Trey Davis puts it in. A couple threes for him.
Oh, that stroke that we've seen tonight does not look like the stroke of a 31% three-point shooter.
R.J. Davis trying to find some space. Out there on a Brakefield, who's longer, taller, and will defend. In the corner, a fake, a dribble, and a fire. Got it. Nice shot. It's a big-time three outside by Jalen Withers.
And that's the guy we were talking about when they put him in the lineup and he started making threes, and he's got a real high three-point percentage. He's in the 40s. That spreads the court and makes North Carolina very dangerous.
Pedulla oozing inside that defense. Loose, picked up, vacuumed in. Davis, he'll go, shifting gears, set up, and pop a three. Nice shot.
Wow.
That's a big-time shot there.
How do you defend that?
He just drove Barnes back off of him, created space, and knocked it down.
Brakefield trying to avert the defense. And it was on him by Lubin. And a foul called on Van Allen Lubin. Three-point shooting on display here in Milwaukee. In a 4-point game on TNT. So far, a combined 6 of 9 three-point shooting. Get complete coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Tournament on NCAA.com.
Now, Kevin, Ole Miss switches everything, and so that can create a mismatch. Here's your mismatch right here. The 6'4" Morrell against the 6'8" Lubin, and North Carolina's got to work to find the mismatch. Withers catches the ball high, draws the defense. That's what North Carolina needs to be able to do to punish Mississippi for doing all those switches.
Absolutely, and Hubert Davis and his staff, they worked hard on that in practice yesterday, going 5-on-5, and there's a mismatch the other way. Morrell takes Trimble down low and is able to get that turnaround jumper off.
Davis got a screen. They bring another big out there to get him. It's Dia. Davis, a three. He was last year's ACC Player of the Year. And the other way, flying are the Rebels, with 7 1,000-point scores through their careers on this roster. It's Brakefield on the wing.
There's Morrell trying to post up again, this time against Davis. They didn't find him, though.
Morrell was Ole Miss's leading scorer for 3 straight years, and then has taken a step back as they've added more players.
Arms over Trimble, fought for inside. It's collected by Powell, a freshman. Outside Davis, and back to Powell. He'll set up on a 20-footer.
I'm just not sure that the 2 dribbles and shoot the ball is exactly what North Carolina is looking for on offense, even though they had a mismatch there.
Well, absolutely. They have Dia on him, and both times.
Oh, he ramrods his way in there.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Dia.
Yeah, Kevin. Dia is as skilled a big man as there is in the country. He can shoot the ball on the perimeter. He can post up. He can face and drive. Likes to go left, as we saw right there.
They're looking inside, trying to go to Washington. Another steal here. Here comes Murray. He finds Brakefield as a senior from Jackson. Oh, he just rolls right over Trimble. Foul called. Goes on Brakefield, number 1 on him.
And it was that elbow, that arm that came around. And here's what you're talking about, Stan, with Dia. I mean, he just bounces Washington right out of the way.
He can really handle a ball for a big guy. Loves to go left. Got to know that. He's right-handed, but he would much rather get to his left hand.
Carolina in the ACC finished 13-7. Making a move, driving inside, Jackson. So far in the tournament, we know that one of the big upsets, McNeese, with their first win in school history in this tournament. Memphis losing to Mountain West Conference, Colorado State, and the Big Ten. Wow, 4-0, guys, to start this tournament.
It's a good start, but going back to Dan's point, we've seen Diaz switched on to perimeter players 3 times. R.J. Davis settled for the 3-point jumper. Powell settled for the mid-range jumper. Jackson took him right to the basket and made him defend.
And that's what you have to do. And Dia, though, it's hard to take him to the basket. He moves his feet really well for a big guy.
He does. I've been a fan of Diaz since he was at Vanderbilt, and then obviously played great at Belmont last year.
Dia takes it in with a bump, a grind, and a follow.
Again, he finished that with his right hand, but where did he drive it? To his left. One of the things you have to do as a player, you have to lock into personnel tendencies and take away guys' comfort zone.
Davis will slice and dive and foul as he flew. With a little more than 8 minutes gone in the first half, this is the big man right here, Malik Dia. Great footwork, and he finds the deuce. Ole Miss on top. Welcome back to Milwaukee. Let's take a look at our AT&T Connected Cam, Coach.
Well, we just saw this. Now, as they set the pick, you've got to get, Jackson's got to do a better job of redirecting Dia off of that pick and roll.
Ole Miss has started 8 of 11. Lauren caught up with their coach, Chris Beard, moments ago.
Coach, first game in a week, you wouldn't know. What do you like most about your start?
And basketball is always easier when you're hitting shots. So I think the guys are playing the right way. Their heart's in the right place. We got to do a better job on three-point defense. It's a big weapon for Carolina, and we've given them a couple open looks.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Dan, we know that Ole Miss, in their first tournament appearance this year, in 6 years, and they haven't won a tournament game since 2015, comes in with a great deal of confidence as the number 6 seed.
They really are good defensively, Kevin. They make you work very, very hard to score. And we've seen that here. You know, I think coaches just like to complain about things. North Carolina's attempted 4 3-point shots and made 2, so the looks aren't really all that frequent. But they really make it hard for you to score, and North Carolina is just not moving the ball well enough to get easy baskets.
Murray doubled and looking for an escape hatch. It is finding a Cutter Davis. It was broken up on the play by Ian Jackson, who misses at the other end. Out of bounds, Ole Miss's ball.
Excellent defense there to go vertical and not foul as Jackson's leaning in trying to get contact on that transition layup.
And that's what you can't do if you're Ole Miss, and that is throw the ball away. Jackson will make more of those than he'll miss. So Ole Miss dodged one right there.
They certainly did, and they usually do not turn the ball over much, as we know. The third in the nation, fewer than 9 turnovers a game.
Third fewest, an amazing number. Open shot, Davis, with a great screen by Morrell to open the door.
Dan, that is not a 31% three-point shooter. That stroke, we're right on the angle here watching it. That stroke can't get any better.
They're going to have to guard him.
Davis, got it.
He is a big shot maker, but he can make really tough shots. I mean, that was well defended.
It certainly was. Dre Davis getting the job done at both ends, but Davis able to knock it down anyway.
Brakefield, another three.
Wow.
Oh, they're falling for Ole Miss. 6 of 7 as a team from distance.
Well, and that's Brakefield's second one off the bench. Davis has 3. We haven't even gotten into Pedulla or Murray shooting the 3 yet.
Trimble from Menominee Falls, close to Milwaukee, takes it in, rollicking his way down the lane. Foul, Davis of Ole Miss.
Well, R.J. Davis, again, he's a guy who can create his own shot, and that's a really tough shot. But now down on the other end, nobody's creating his own shot. This is just good ball movement, good passing. North Carolina very slow to get out on a pretty good three-point shooter.
Yeah, and great unselfish play there. Dre Davis had just hit a 3. He stays in there and sets the screen on that one to get his teammate open.
Freshman from the Bronx with the ball. Jackson right here with a 3. Rebound lassoed by Morrell. He'll take it, and here comes Murray the other way. Driving hard, reverse, no, foul Jackson. As he was trying to defend and hold his ground. Saturday night is all right for a fight. Brace yourself for All Elite Wrestling Collision. Saturday after NCAA coverage on TNT, and now streaming on Max, with Ian Jackson picking up his first foul. And at the free throw line is Juju Murray. Jalen Murray, an 83% free throw shooter.
You know, North Carolina, we talked about the fact that they've been shooting the 3 very well, but it seems to me that that's like the first option, and they've got some guys who can score inside. They need to put some pressure on Ole Miss.
Well, and when they've gone to the post against the switch, we saw them be very successful. And Ole Miss gets out in transition now. They really run.
And if you're missing 3s, that's a great opportunity for long rebounds, and a team gets to go in transition. So North Carolina really not playing well here early because Ole Miss is making them look bad.
Jackson is out. Cadeau is in. And a change. Here comes David Barnes checking in for Ole Miss. He'll take the place of Juju Murray. Here's a look at Barnes, a senior from Memphis, former player at Texas Southern and Sam Houston, and now with Ole Miss. A lot of transfers on this Ole Miss team. Cadeau, a sophomore from West Orange, New Jersey, makes the move, drives inside. Davis was there. Trimble on top. Pedulla will defend. Shot clock at 6. Outside it goes. Cadeau, no, he cannot get it. Cadeau can't hit the 3.
That was great defense, though, by Pedulla to defend a drive by Trimble. Make him kick the ball out to Cadeau.
Chiseling inside with 2. Dre Davis.
Boy, Davis is having himself a first half, isn't he?
Wow, 13 points.
And he's just dominating. We've seen him make 3 threes, and then he's down in the post.
Withers got it from Davis, fouled as he fired. With 9:09 in the first half of this one.
Well, Davis, we're talking about mismatches, but here's a mismatch here. Davis Dre Davis has R.J. Davis against him, and he just backs him down. He's got him by 6 or 7 inches. That's easy. And if that's going to happen, somebody from North Carolina's got to come and help.
There's no question. And look, one of the advantage Ole Miss has in that is that they play against switching every day because that's how they defend. So they are used to finding mismatches when they're in practice every day. They search that one out very, very well.
Dre Davis picked up his second personal foul for Ole Miss, and he will check out. Back in Brakefield, back in Juju Murray. Withers at the free throw line, and he's a 1,000-point scorer. He was also a 3-year starter at Louisville.
Carolina goes to some pressure after the free throw.
It's Pedulla. Withers was in front.
Here's another mismatch.
Brakefield works down low on Trimble. Lost it. Trimble's got it. Ahead it goes. Flying, gliding, can't finish. Davis.
Well, how many times have we seen that? North Carolina with a shot at the basket that they can't finish.
Ooh, wow. Swatted away on the layup try with a foul. And 8:42 to play in the first half. Goes on Lubin.
We see Brakefield here, and they draw the foul. Contrast that to the other end. We've seen 2 Carolina drives, and yeah, they should have made both shots, Dan, but Mississippi does a great job of going up vertical, getting the hands back, and not fouling. That is disciplined defense that will win you basketball games.
Lubin picked up his second. Brakefield is at the line, who began at Duke and now in his 4th season with Ole Miss.
Stan, that's just what we're talking about, that even in transition, Ole Miss makes it really difficult for you to score. And those are baskets. You know, North Carolina gets out and run in transition. They have to make those baskets, or their transition game just isn't effective.
Well, I think a lot of players just expect, I'm going to go hard to the rim. I'm either going to score or get fouled. Mississippi works very hard not to foul you down there. And now it's a good job there by Carolina doing what you're talking about, Dan, finding the mismatch and getting the ball into Withers.
They got into Withers, you're right. He was fouled by Barnes.
And Barnes, that's a mistake for Barnes fouling him down there because Brakefield was turning around for the double team.
Boy, this is a really small North Carolina unit now. 3 guards, Withers at center with Drake Powell.
Well, they had success in a game they had to win earlier in the season against UCLA with a small lineup, and so they employed the small lineup a lot, but they started to go better when they had a bigger lineup, and there's another drive to the basket and a miss.
I love, though, Ole Miss's discipline to not foul. Too many times guys just bail guys out, assuming they're going to make the layup.
Oh, Pedulla, Murray inside, and defended by Cadeau. Now, here's Davis. Trying to dodge defenders. Powell on top. Cadeau.
That's a great job getting back defensively.
Cadeau. Powell aims 3. Good!
Well, they need to make a few of those. Powell, a good percentage, 37% three-point shooter, doesn't shoot a lot of them and needs some time, but with time can knock it down.
Pedulla hard to the rack, the defender down, foul called, Trimble defending. So Ole Miss is shooting lights out, 11 of 15. Carolina trying to counter with their 3-point shooting of their own, down by 11. Ole Miss shooting 73% from the field, and look at the shooting from 3. So North Carolina won their first 4 game against San Diego State by 28. Moments ago, Lauren caught up with Tar Heel head coach Hubert Davis.
Coach, you raved about Tuesday's first half defense. How do you channel it today?
Our competitive fight defensively is not there. They don't feel us. Nothing is going to change until we meet that competitive fight. We've got to be more physical on the ball.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hubert Davis, who played there, he's won at least 20 games each season. 4th year at North Carolina, but this is the worst seed they have had since the NCAA went to seeding. Number 11, which is hard to believe, but there they are. And at the line is Sean Pedulla.
That speaks to the success of the North Carolina program, but what the other thing that Hubert is saying, and he's absolutely right, a team doesn't shoot in the 70s if you're getting up and making tough shots and making them take tough shots. They've had wide open opportunities.
I'll tell you what, though, I think they're defending the free throw very well. They've held them to 50% at the free throw line.
Cadeau into a thicket of defenders. Outside, Frank Paul maneuvering to the baseline with a foul. It's called on the Ole Miss defense. Dia in there grabbing that loose ball. Be prepared for history to be written in the 2025 Stanley Cup playoffs. NHL on TNT playoff coverage begins April 19th on TNT, TBS, and Max. The foul called on Dia, and it is his second.
Yeah, neither one of them were good fouls. One was that late reach in and just gave a foul, and that one's just pushing a guy in the back. They need him on the floor, and those are not good fouls.
Well, here now, Dia has 2 fouls, and he's out. And Dre Davis has 2 fouls, and he's been a really important cog offensively, and he's out. Let's see what North Carolina, and I missed the front end of the 1-on-1 in this last 7 minutes, if North Carolina can take advantage of that.
It's Pedulla, who played at Virginia Tech for 3 years. And in the ACCs and this North Carolina program, there's a foul. It's away from the ball. It's down low, and I think it went on Trimble, who picks up his second.
Kevin, I was just thinking, Coach Beard told me yesterday he always wants the ball in Sean's hands. He told me yesterday he's a facilitator in the absence of scoring, and here we are for Pedulla, just 1 point but 4 assists, 3 rebounds. Coach says he always makes a positive impact on the game.
And he was big early, Lauren, in this one, assisting on virtually every basket the Rebels made. He has it here with a 14-footer.
Again, I love it when players respond when we're talking about them. It's almost like they can hear us over here.
Weren't you in the production meeting when we talked about this very thing?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That's Pedulla, great job right there to knock that down.
6.5 in the half. Round of 64, maneuvering here. Cadeau right to the hole. Collision up high. Knocked out by Cadeau. Powell. It's Davis. It's a 3. And a rebound by Murray.
But again, on Cadeau's drive, Dan, he was expecting contact. They're not going to foul you on those. They've been well taught, and they are highly disciplined.
It's Pedulla. Breakfield, he'll plummet inside.
And we see the difference at this end on the drive. Powell gets that forearm down on Breakfield rather than getting both hands up and going vertical. Breakfield doesn't finish it, but he gets a trip to the free throw line.
Powell picks up number 1, the freshman from Pittsboro, North Carolina, and at the free throw line is Jamin Breakfield. 3-year starter. He has become, and you alluded to this before, he has become now one of the best 6th men coming off the bench. Went to the coach. It was a great story, and what a sacrifice he's making, but he still sees a lot of minutes.
Oh, he does, but listen, I coached some really high character guys. I was very, very lucky. Not once in my career did I have a guy come in who had been a starter for 3 years and say, hey, you know what, I'd like to come off the bench. Not once. Not once.
Cadeau.
Well, North Carolina's really in trouble here. They got to get something going, and going quickly, or they're going to find themselves way out of the game.
Oh, slithering inside was R.J. Davis.
That's a tough shot, though. Is it sustainable to have to make shots that difficult?
Breakfield. And picked up by Withers. On the side, they get it. Jackson is in. Lickety split goes to the other side. Breakfield knocked it away. Ole Miss on the run. Pedulla is trailing and signals the play.
Jackson just going way too fast there. You know, you want to get down the court quickly, but, you know, maybe think about your other guys and pass the ball.
Breakfield, what a pass. Lasering it inside. Count it! Oh, the assist was perfect. The finish was great. Send him to the line.
That's Breakfield's second assist. Great back cut, puts the pass right on the money. And Carolina's got to take a page out of Mississippi's book and quit fouling on all these shots inside.
Ian Jackson picked up the foul. At the free throw line is Juju Murray, Dan.
R.J. Davis was going to jump out and deny the pass, but there was no pass because Murray just went back door.
Murray will check out, going to the bench.
Well, Jackson's got 2 fouls now. Trimble has 2 fouls.
Klafke is checked in for Ole Miss.
Klafke from Brazil.
His dad was an Olympian.
The only teenager that gets any playing time from Mississippi. Pedulla gets good position. Does a great job flopping on this.
Well, he's in great position, and Withers, you know, he's going to turn. He's put that shoulder right in his chest, and that is automatic.
It is automatic, and you're right. He was in position. He sold the call, but he was right there.
It's Pedulla, and Brakefield with a 3. Rebound was initially tapped, now claimed by Cadeau. Of the top assist men in all of college basketball, Cade Tyson is checked in for the Tar Heels. Cadeau positions and fires. And Pedulla's got the ball, and he's off to the races, battling with Tyson, who knocked it away. Powell, Davis, the stutter step, the drive, the bump, the finesse, and he got it.
R.J. Davis has made 3 tough shots already in this game.
4 to play in the first half. Carolina's never led. Ole Miss, wide open 3, Pedulla!
Well, Cadeau deserved that one. He tried to take a cheap charge away from the ball, went to the ground, and Pedulla got wide open.
Little zone here, Dan.
Well, they do this a lot. They show you the zone coming down the floor, and then they're right back in there man-to-man.
Davis 3, Brakefield rebound, 3.5 to go. The other way with Morrell. The senior from Memphis, and back to Pedulla.
You know, North Carolina looks discombobulated on both ends of the court.
Brakefield to Pedulla with a screen set. He'll maneuver and fire. Leaping rebound by Powell. Quickly the other, Davis took one up high from Pedulla, and a foul also over there was Barnes. And Barnes will pick it up.
We said the guards in this game were outstanding. We see Davis and then Pedulla able to get free off the Cadeau flop and knocks down the 3.
Indeed they are, Jamie. 12 consecutive wins the Blue Devils bring into this tournament, a #1 seed. North Carolina has gone 9-2 over the last 11 games. Dan told you earlier their only 2 losses were to Duke. At the free throw line here is R.J. Davis, and the foul went on Barnes. It is his 3rd. With a rebound, Klafke.
Davis is an 88% free throw shooter.
Murray 3. Nope. Brakefield inhales the rebound.
Brakefield's played really well. Made an impact on this game off the bench. He's got a couple turnovers, but other than that.
Pedulla. Oh, a crafty move. Wheeling down low, but picked up on the miss by Powell. And Cadeau. Withers had it. Works on Pedulla. Doubled in there by Klafke, who's got the ball.
Withers hesitated. He catches that ball. Pedulla's on him. You got to turn and make your move right now.
Yeah, Ole Miss was late coming on that double team, but he gave them time to get there.
It's Murray on the wing. Approaching 2 to play in the first half. He'll accelerate and drive into a nest of defenders. Saves the ball with the leap. Knocked out of bounds. Deflected by me. And off to the side.
That was great defense in there, though, by R.J. Davis. That's what you need to do. Make them take tough shots. Don't foul them.
Now watch. Oh, let's see if it watch.
Oh, great
It was going
deflection.
right for you. Did you see that?
Put it on the list. Deflection.
It was going for your hand.
Harlan.
Did you see who caught the ball?
Did you get it? Did you? No, I did not see that.
I just sat there.
Well, you pay attention. You're supposed to be watching the game.
I just
I know,
sat there.
I should be watching the game. Boy, I've heard that one before. Here's Pedulla. They finished 10 and 8 in the rugged SEC. Look at him drive. And then finesses up a shot. And the rebound is taken inside by Powell.
Great defense there by Powell.
Look how fast Ole Miss got back on defense.
They did. Their coach is a high-intensity, urgent coach in every way. Washington. Little mid-range shot by Jalen the junior from Gary, Indiana. Not too far from here. About a 2-hour drive.
You'd love to get a couple more stops here in buckets if you're Carolina and you get this thing maybe to 12. Go in feeling a little better about yourself.
Klafke. Breakfield. Spinning, twirling, driving, falling, fouled.
Wow, not sure about that one. Looks like he might have just fallen on his own. He sort of tripped on his foot there. It's a tough call, but...
It is a tough call, but if the defense makes contact that creates an advantage for the defense, then it's a foul.
You're absolutely right. It's the right call. Tough one on Jalen Johnson's part.
But that's the way this first half has gone for North Carolina.
Breakfield's got a chance to get into double figures already with this free throw.
72% free throw shooter. Jamin Breakfield coming up on AT&T at the half. Get all the scores and highlights plus the latest NCAA tournament news. All coming up on AT&T at the half. We are in Milwaukee, a great site, a full house, every seat taken. Breakfield got it. And Murray controls it. And approaching a minute to go. He's got Davis on him. Nudging his way in. Finding Pedulla. Defended by Tyson. It's a 2. It's a long one. He can't get it, and Washington will snare it.
Great defense there by Kate Tyson to have to guard a guard on the perimeter. Doesn't get beat on the dribble and contests the shot.
That's North Carolina's best half-court defensive set of the half.
Cadeau. Tyson. He'll put up a 3. Rebound. There's a foul. That goes on North Carolina.
And North Carolina's really struggled in the half-court defense this entire game, but Tyson does a great job keeping Pedulla in front and then really pressuring that shot without fouling. But down on the other end, another foul by North Carolina.
So it's Matthew Morrell at the free throw line, 80%. He was the leading scorer last year. Stan, you touched on it. Led Ole Miss in scoring 3rd straight season. He led them in scoring. But here he is now trying to he's played over 150 games, too, for Ole Miss.
Incredible.
Yeah, what a career.
He's their best perimeter defender. One of the best that I've seen. Can really get down in his stance and move his feet. And Ole Miss going to take a timeout right here. This is the old use it or lose it.
28 seconds to go. When there's trouble, you go to the man who's got the quick hands. Look at Stan. Did not blink. Did not blink.
Trusted by teammates.
Well, we got a battle of 2 Final Four coaches from the past. We have 2 small teams going at it. And we came in, if you took a look at the lineups, the rosters, the numbers, evenly matched in a lot of ways coming in.
Yeah, listen, both these teams very, very good in terms of the numbers. Both in the top 31 teams offensively and both top 50 teams defensively. But Ole Miss's defense has been outstanding here early on.
They got their biggest lead right now. It's a 19-point advantage. Carolina has never led.
They give you this zone look. It's not zone. They're going to be man-to-man.
Cadeau will study. He'll survey in 10 seconds to go in the half. He's going to bully his way right into Murray, who lunged in and picked up the foul, trying to poke it away.
And the bench reacted. That is not what they want. We praised them in the half for not fouling. And here, he just bails him out. You got to make Cadeau finish that going to his left, Dan.
Well, not only was he going to his left, but Murray was between Cadeau and the basket. You just put your hands up, and it's going to be a really, really tough shot.
And that's what Ole Miss usually does. But right there, the bailout. And Cadeau, who's 0 for 5 from the floor, now misses his first free throw. First half here has been a struggle for the Tar Heels and for Cadeau.
Carolina was a preseason ACC poll second place. They began the season at number 9. Then they went 5-4. They have not been ranked since. Final seconds. Good if it goes. The 3 away may have been deflected. Morrell can't get it. Halftime is here. What an impressive first half by the SEC Ole Miss Rebels. On top of North Carolina, 44-26 at the half. And boy, did they shoot well. 54% for Ole Miss. And in the three-point category, they were 7 of 12. Warren, we send it to you.
Dre, UNC came in with momentum. How'd you guys slow them down early?
Just trying to stick to our game plan. We know they like to get on transition. We know if we take care of the ball, take good shots, we can kind of slow them down, transition a little bit. So that was our game plan and our focus.
I mean, the threes are nice, but my guys broadcasting the game are more impressed by the screen you set right after one of them. What does it say about the way this team works together?
You know, we're just a cohesive team. This is all what we envision coming in this summer, you know, being able to screen for each other, play off of each other. We got a lot of talent on this team, so being able just to feed off each other, play off each other is incredible.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Kevin.
Thank you.
We got it, Lauren. Thank you very much. He started every game he has played this season, Dre Davis. We'll take a break and then take you to our studios for the AT&T at the half. You're watching the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. We're back in Milwaukee. Ole Miss hit 6 of their first 7 threes. They've never looked back. And with great efficiency, too. 10 assists on 14 made baskets. With the AT&T first half stats right there. Rebels on top. Kevin Harlan, Stan Van Gundy, and Dan Bonner will check in with Lauren Shahadi in just a moment. Rebels look good.
They do. Look, I mean, they've looked good at both ends of the floor. That's the thing. And they've done it and overcome some foul trouble to Dia and to Dre Davis.
And I thought North Carolina might have a chance to get back in it with Dre Davis sitting on the bench, but not so. Davis played fewer than 9 minutes in the first half, but he did about everything you can do. And this is how you shoot such a high percentage. You get wide open shots, and Davis, as you mentioned a couple times in the first half, Stan, only a 31% three-point shooter, but he was outstanding in the first half.
And let's swing it over to Lauren.
Kevin, I know you're going to find this shocking, but Coach Davis very spirited at the half. I just walked with him for a brief moment. I said, what do you need to do better? And he kind of grumbled a few words that I couldn't make out. And then he said, absolutely everything. We've played better than this in this tournament.
They're going to need some kind of second half. Ole Miss doesn't look like they've lost 5 of their last 8 and 9, Dan, of their last 16 games.
No, they really don't. They have come out here and everything has been keyed by their defensive effort. But as Chris Beard said when Lauren talked to him in the first half, the game's really easy when the ball's going in the basket and they're getting good shots and knocking them down.
And that was some kind of note right there you saw with Dia making a move. Lubin defending. And push back up and in. Davis.
Of course, it was Davis.
But come on, I mean, you get him to miss a shot, great defense, and then you don't block out and keep him off the glass. Carolina's got to put more into this game, and we're already going to have a sub.
Dre Davis is 6 of 6 so far. They go inside with a foul. Maneuvering there was Withers.
Oh, here it is. Good defense by Vin Allen Lubin. And just no body on him by Withers. Just lets Dre Davis have a free run to the rim, and that's going to earn Withers a spot on the bench.
Trimble comes in the game.
So now North Carolina going with this really small lineup again, and Pedulla was open, but they weren't trying to throw it to Pedulla.
I don't know who Elliot Cadeau was throwing it to. It looked like he was throwing it to Pedulla.
That's the wrong guy.
It is the wrong guy, wrong color jersey.
Davis was second team all ACC with a crossover here and a feed. Trimble. With the rebound, Dia.
Well, that was great help by Pedulla. He was not going to let R.J. Davis just isolate on Dia. Trimble's not a great three-point shooter. He came to help. Excellent, intelligent defense by Sean Pedulla.
And that's what Ole Miss has done. You know, you
Look at the hustle. Terrific hustle.
get the ball out of the hands of R.J. Davis and you give it to a guy who's a 27% three-point shooter.
Now here's the inbounds. I think he thought R.J. Davis was going to rotate back or Trimble and just threw it out. And then Cadeau working hard here.
Well, that's the kind of play that North Carolina has to have. I mean, they're down 22 points, but this is a tremendous offensive team, and they've still got 18 minutes, but they got to get going at some point.
Absolutely. The intensity has got to pick up.
Murray, Cadeau defends in the scoop. And upstairs they climb with Lubin and Trimble. And the trailing Cadeau.
Ole Miss just does a great job getting 5 guys back and getting their defense set.
Nice dive inside, Trimble.
Well, that's what Trimble wants to do. He's much better in the mid-range and driving the ball to the basket, and that time Ole Miss just let him go. And we've seen Ole Miss make a defensive mistake like that very few times in this game.
Davis on top. Murray will be picked up by Davis. Breakfield on the fly.
Nice pass by Pedulla. Just a little pocket pass. Nice touch inside by Breakfield.
5 assists for Pedulla. Powell underneath. Van Allen, Lubin.
I just keep running that. I don't know why they haven't gone to it more. Get the switch, take the front, bring the other guy up and go high-low. I mean, both times they've even tried to execute it, they've gotten it.
Morrell, 3. Rebound by Trimble, a former Wisconsin Mr. Basketball.
Of course, Lubin only played 8 minutes in the first half because of foul trouble.
They'll jab, step, and take it in, and a travel.
I mean, this is what I like this, Dan. You highlighted this in the first half. They've got the front. Murray on him. Powell does a great job coming to the high post. If you're Mississippi, to me, when that guy comes to the high post, when Ole Miss when you're defending a guy coming to the high post, you got to deny him the ball there. So if he gets it, there's just no defense on the high-low.
Well, particularly if Murray at 5'11" is guarding Lubin at 6'8" inside.
Absolutely. But you can get those matchups, though.
It's a Pedulla 3. Rebound, reeled in by Davis. Powell is on him. Davis. First miss. Save him going out of bounds by Dre Davis.
Well, the Ole Miss fans loving that one. The effort there on the glass by their team.
Well, of course, if you're North Carolina, it's nice if you can score those baskets on the inside, but you got to get stops. And there's a stop.
There's a travel. Every dunk, every 3, every upset. Fan work is thirsty work. Stay refreshed with Coke Zero Sugar. Is it the best Coke ever? In this 20-point Ole Miss lead, up by as many as 22. Winner here will take on Iowa State. And they look good. Cadeau. Leading assist man. And he finds Withers, who takes it in. Holding on to that leg, as you can see. And great pain as it was congested inside. A lot of traffic, and down he went.
I hope he just got hit on the shin. He was grabbing his shin, not his ankle. And obviously, that would heal a lot quicker.
Ooh, can't put any weight on it. We tried to.
Oh, no, that's his ankle. Yeah, that's his ankle, and that does not look good.
Oh, my.
Yeah, he's not coming back.
Withers, a 1,000-point score. His dad played college basketball at Charlotte. He grew up in Charlotte. Jalen did. A couple years at Louisville and now a Tar Heel, but That was hard to watch, and the landing was not good.
Yeah, he just...
Yeah, that's a tough one. And we undersold his dad a little bit, saying he played.
Yeah, I know.
He was a three-time All-Conference
He was
guy
a terrific
at
player.
Charlotte. Yeah.
I'm glad you backed that up.
We don't want to downplay
All-Conference.
Curtis too much.
All-Conference at Charlotte.
All right, well, now he was
going to be at the line.
Withers was going to be at the line, and since he can't continue because of an injury, and the injury does not involve blood or a flagrant foul, then Chris Beard gets to pick the Tar Heel who's on the court, who shoots the free throw.
So we pick 67% free throw shooter Van Allen Lubin.
And Van Allen Lubin says, thank you to Chris Beard. I can add a point to my scoring total. Thank you very much.
You know, you guys are talking about the Tar Heels can come back. They have scored 90 points or more 12 times, most in the ACC. Top 10 in Division I. They've got firepower. They're down now by 18.
Oh, they've got plenty of firepower. They're going to have to get it done defensively and on the boards.
And they're going to have a little bit of a problem now because they're going to have to go with that really small lineup again with Withers not able to come back.
Barnes down low. Dia. Timeout taken, 15:51 second half. The winner goes to the round of 32. It's Ole Miss in North Carolina on TNT. The emergence in North Carolina recently because of Jalen Withers, but he's now gone. The emergence tied to him. Lauren, what's the update on him?
Kevin, we just saw him roll his ankle limp off the court. He's with the trainer now. You can see it, trying to rotate it side to side. He can't. The trainer earlier was pushing his knees together to see if he could put weight on it at all. He's having trouble with it. Just went back to the locker room, needed full support to walk.
We thank you for that, but it's tough to hear. Dia hits the free throw. And now the lead is 21. Highest has been 22. Drake Powell, wide open inside, Lubin.
I'm going to keep going to that if I'm Carolina. I'm going to get the switch on the pick and roll. I'm going to seal and try to go inside. They've had success. They need to go to that every time until Ole Miss finds an answer to it.
And then you get stops down on this end. It's nice to be able to score.
See, they listen to you. That's what I'm saying. They hear
Cadeau,
us.
the steal, then swatted away inside by Dia. It'll be North Carolina's ball.
And we talked to Chris Beard yesterday, and one of his concerns was North Carolina's transition game. But when you have two guys hustling back like that, you can handle the transition game. Boy, Dia can really run, can't he?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he can do a little bit of everything. He's got to do it more consistently. He's got to bring consistent energy, but he can do all of it.
And he spins inside for two right there. Lubin with 12. He averages 8, but over the last 10 games, he's been 13 points a game. He is 5 of 5.
Yeah, Lubin's a very good player, and his emergence also coincided with Carolina's improvement.
Dia drives right inside. Lubin defending. Over on True TV, Vandy is coming down to the finish in that one. You'll want to watch that against St. Mary's. Over on True TV, 4 fouls called on Lubin, and that is a story for a team now that has lost some size up front. They got Malik Dia at the free throw line.
Malik Dia, who started his career at Vandy.
At Vanderbilt, played his freshman year there.
See how I tied that in?
Yes, then he went to Belmont. I do, Coach. It's
very clever.
It is.
I thought so.
Lubin is going to leave. They go to the bench, and Jalen Washington comes in, a 6'10 junior. Played 16 minutes the other night against San Diego State.
Now, Washington was a guy that was playing a lot more early in the season.
Started, didn't he, Dan?
Yep.
16 games. Driving is Trimble. I'd like to remind you, watch whip-around coverage of all men's games with Fast Break presented by Nissan in the March Madness live app.
Well, you saw that one now. Dia didn't want to switch because they've been beaten inside, and that gave Trimble a chance to get to the rim.
That's his third foul. From Menominee Falls, Wisconsin, Seth Trimble.
Well, the good news for North Carolina is that Dia has to go out of the game. The bad news is that Brakefield comes in.
That's exactly right. Look, this rotation for Ole Miss has been good all year. All veteran guys.
And Brakefield, he can play a couple of different positions for them.
It's a great play. I don't even know what his position is, to be quite honest.
Well, isn't that the way basketball's supposed to be these days? Positionless?
It certainly is, and he can do a little bit of everything.
Brakefield, it's Pedulla, and Trimble's on him. Pedulla got the screen. He'll put up a 2.
That defense is too soft against a shooter like Pedulla. You got to get your big up on him.
You give Pedulla that much room, he's going to shoot it right over you.
Cadeau sizing it up, and Trimble on top. Cadeau right there. Trimble will blast his way inside. Got it. Foul.
That is a great drive by Trimble. Swing the ball. He's got a quick isolation. He just blasts it to the rim, and a bad foul there by Morrell. But this is too soft. Jalen Washington's got to be up more on a shooter like that on the pick and roll.
Well, I think Washington's a little afraid of Pedulla going by, but you're absolutely right. You got to take that risk.
Absolutely. Pedulla's more of a jump shooter than a guy that you're worried about going to the rim. Not that he can't do both.
North Carolina's got 2 double-digit scores off the bench, and one of them is Trimble.
Well, I got it back to 15.
Juju Murray. Cadeau is on him. It's Brakefield on top against Washington. Pedulla and Trimble. Screen, no switch, the double, the feed. Davis with a 3. Short, may have been deflected. Trimble the other way.
I think Powell got a piece of that.
Yes. That was good defense against Pedulla that time.
Excellent.
Trimble trying to ply his way inside. Cadeau. He's defended by Morrell. Cadeau looking underneath. Washington got it.
That's great patience by Cadeau. Good footwork and an excellent post feed there for Johnson. They've got this down to 13 now.
It's Pedulla. Trimble with the bump. Shot clock at 5, off balance. Got it! What a shot! Trying to gash his way in. It falls in a foul. Cadeau picks up number 1.
Well, there's not many guys that Pedulla can back down in major college basketball, but he just did it to Cadeau.
Well, that looked almost like a horse shot. I mean, he was falling down, and Drake Powell was coming to help, but didn't get there in time. Pedulla is one of those crafty basketball players.
He sure is. But look, you're trying to come back and win. If you're Elliot Cadeau, you got to be able to play Sean Pedulla one-on-one in the post.
Absolutely.
And Pedulla knocks it in.
If you want to know why Pedulla is the way he is, Kevin, he's the 3rd youngest of 9 kids. He told me, I've been hit in the head with a basketball, football, or baseball almost every day of my life. He said my dad would have all the kids, 9 kids on the back patio playing a dribbling game. He said obviously half the kids are crying by the end of it, and dad would just say, get up, be tough. Sean said 8 siblings. It gets you ready real fast for Division I basketball.
Oh, good story. Washington kicks it out. That's a 3.
Oh, my.
And well off on the shot, which was taken by Jackson.
Well, the last 2 pick and rolls here on that possession, they blitzed Cadeau. First one, they almost got a turnover. Second one, he was ready for and got the ball out. But Jackson just not able to even come close.
Well, Jackson's a really good three-point shooter, and he went through a stretch this year where he was having great games, but he's been quiet for a few games.
He stripped of the ball. Nice Carolina defense. Trimble weaving, driving, and got it. Maneuvering for two.
Trimble's great in transition, getting that ball coast to coast.
And that's what Chris Beard was worried about, the transition game. And Trimble's also a tremendous defender.
It's a Pedulla drive. And that is on Ole Miss. Morrell will pick up a foul.
That's going to be his third.
It was a 22-point Ole Miss lead. And the Tar Heels continue to chip away. And a nice game by Augustus Marshallonis with 14 points, 8 rebounds. And that is our game reset there. Coach, you know that last name, Marshallonis, don't you?
I'll tell you what, his dad, Sharunas, was
some kind of player.
A great player. Agreed. So strong as a guard, too. Had some good years in the NBA.
Carolina trying to get back in this one. They've never led, trailed by as many as 22. They've lost Withers. And that is a shot from three by Davis and a leaping rebound by Dia.
Well, that was a great screen by Johnson.
Oh, boring his way. Pedulla inside. A bump right there with Cadeau. Who's got it? The other way. Now the running Powell twirls. And it will not drop. Rebound inside. No. Washington had it. Knocked away. Picked up by Pedulla.
Wow, we've had 3 straight possessions with shots right at the rim.
What a collision. Cadeau hit the deck. Barnes is the one who had the hammer on that one as the 2 hit hard.
And that's Barnes' 4th foul.
It is. Right up high in that neck area.
Well, again, how many times have we seen, well, we haven't seen that very much. They just really hammered him, and I don't know why. They just got tangled up, and that's at the top of the key. Why is that necessary? I think Hubert Davis wants to know if they're going to
look at it, maybe?
Well, it does not appear so. But we're trying to placate both of the coaches now, so that's the delay.
I never had a referee try to placate me, ever. Ever. I would have appreciated it. Yeah, that's... I don't think there's anything there.
No, I don't think
there's
there's
a
anything
good
there
foul
either.
call, and that's it. Let's play on.
But how many times have we seen North Carolina miss those shots at the basket? And they're not uncontested shots, but you got to get some of them to go.
Davis trying to work his way in. Cadeau. Murray is there. That's a 3. Got it! Drake Powell!
Great pass by Cadeau, who you've already said is one of the top assist guys in the country. He's got 6 today, averages 6.2.
Momentum is swung to North Carolina, but they've never led, and holding on here is Morrell. Now Murray. Approaching the halfway point of the second half in traffic, Morrell. Timeout taken. 10:01 to go. Timeout. Ole Miss holding on. Carolina fighting back. They've already played in the first 4. Winning there. Morrell watches it bounce. And then through the net for the Rebels. 13-point game here in Milwaukee. Second half. Winner advances to the round of 32. Time for power forward. It's presented by Nissan.
And Ole Miss has had the power to get it inside the entire game. They have done a really nice job getting the ball to the basket in a number of different ways. And it's been different guys. You saw Davis and Murray, who's 5'11", and finally Brakefield.
Here comes Carolina.
We're seeing a little 1-3-1 look from Ole Miss. Don't see this much from them. They're actually staying in a 1-3-1 until like the third pass.
Ball rotation to Davis. Klafke's got the ball. Rebels the other way with Murray.
North Carolina, after their remarkable three-point shooting performance the other day, they're 4 for 16 today.
Dia with the screen, and fighting through it now is Davis. As Murray will hit Morrell. Rebound Washington.
And when you're trying to come back from this kind of a deficit, you have to score on the majority of your possessions. You can't be throwing the ball away.
Washington fumbled it. Klafke has it. Murray will control it. And approaching 9 to play in the game.
You say Washington fumbled it. Keep in mind, he's in the game because Lubin has 4 fouls and Withers is injured and can't go.
Whistle in there with 9:02. Every path has a price. Don't miss the new season of the Emmy-winning HBO original, the series The Last of Us, streaming April 13th exclusively on Max. Pedro Pascal headlines that terrific show. With a drive and over Trimble, it's Morrell who got it.
Well, Morrell, 6'4", 205 pounds. He's a powerful guy.
He really is. He is strong. He is tough.
Washington.
That's how you go at the mismatch, though. The ball goes inside. You don't give him a chance to come and double. You turn and shoot over the top. They've got to continue to exploit the mismatch. But as you said, they got to get some stops, too.
It's Morrell. Oh, rejected by Washington. Playing handball. Trimble. And it's Cadeau. Murray is there. Washington is screened in the corner. Trimble with a 3. It's a rebound, Klafke.
Again, he's a 27% three-point shooter.
And Klafke's got 4 rebounds, so he hasn't been involved offensively, but he has made an impact.
Well, he hasn't. He just took that rebound away from Washington. He tipped it away from him. Washington's much taller.
Murray's got Cadeau in front of him. Shot clock at 6. Cross court Klafke. It's a 3. Missed it all. Oh, flying the other way was Davis and then knocking it out of bounds. A beautiful defensive play by Morrell. Tar Heels trying to work their way back. Still down by 13. It's the NCAA tournament where every possession and every minute means so much.
Wow, North Carolina is trying to make a comeback, but it's hard when they got to play against people who can do things like this. You want to know what transition defense looks like? Watch number 14, Dre Davis. The shot is missed. He's back right away. He's tracking R.J. Davis. Look at the way he just keeps his body between R.J. Davis and the basket, which allows Morrell to come in from behind and block the shot. And Ole Miss has done that all day, Stan. They've played great transition defense without fouling.
Hey, listen, the 2 biggest things defensively are effort and discipline. And we see them both from Ole Miss, and another great defensive possession by Dre Davis.
And here comes Ole Miss.
Listening to Coach Beard just now, he was screaming, if you want to win this game, you have to play defense. He loved that last block, loved it, but said, why all of a sudden are they getting second and third chances? I don't like it, shut it down.
Washington gets that right there. Cadeau's going to have an open 3. Big shot. 10-point game. Closest it's been this half.
Now, to give the credit on that one to Jalen Washington, who ran down that rebound, moved the ball out, and Carolina is definitely back in this one.
Trimble is on Murray. Washington is on Dia. Oh, it's pickpocketed. Drake Powell. It goes off to Davis. Oh, Powell got it inside. Look at this. is a 7-0 run. Pedulla. Under 6 to go. Murray with Davis right there. And the shot clock at 4. Juju Murray with a 3. No! Rebound Washington.
They've now missed 10 of their last 11 threes.
Oh, he got it again! Carolina's had a roll. 9-0 run. Ole Miss was up by 22. Now their lead cut down to 6.
Well, that was Washington chased down. The long rebound there. Got the ball out, extra pass. Pedulla makes it. And then Powell fighting for the ball, gets it back on the putback. And then R.J. Davis off another stop all the way to the rim. Carolina now in control, both defensively and in transition. Their effort has really stepped up. And Dan, as you said off camera there, Jalen Washington's given him a big lift.
He really has. You think with Lubin out and Withers not able to play because he's hurt, that North Carolina's really in trouble. But Washington has stepped in and given them valuable minutes.
Trimble is on Pedulla.
And D is out and Breakfield's in.
Foul, Ole Miss, Pedulla.
I think it was actually Dre Davis.
You're right, it was Dre Davis.
And that's Dre Davis. He's trying to set a back screen, and you have to be stopped, number one. And if you're setting a blind screen like that, you have to give the defender time to get out of the way.
Davis picks up his 3rd. Cadeau. With the defense by Morrell going inside. Washington drops the sledgehammer. 11-0 run North Carolina.
Well, Carolina started exploiting the switches. Ole Miss now not switching, which is their primary defense, and they look confused on rotations when they're not switching.
Foul on Trimble up top. It is his 3rd.
There's no switch and nobody rotates. That would be Pedulla's rotation in most defensive schemes. Nobody's there. Jalen Washington dunks it. I think we will see Ole Miss go back to switching all the pick and rolls.
Breakfield's on top. Washington is on him. Shot clock down to 9. Barnes, Breakfield, 3, off. Rebound saved down low by Davis. Back out to Pedulla.
And North Carolina's playing a small lineup. It's hard for them to rebound the ball.
Pedulla into a couple, trying to squeeze through, lost the ball. Washington vacuums it in. It's Cadeau. Trimble across the lane, up and off. Breakfield is there, picked up by Morrell. Here come the Rebels.
I'll tell you what, though, Carolina playing great at both ends. Jalen Washington just asked Hubert Davis for a sub. He's tired. I would ignore that if I were Hubert Davis. Playing too well. I'd just look the other way myself.
Driving here is Barnes inside. Washington has it. Cadeau, they've got numbers. R.J. Davis. It's Cadeau chiseling his way back to Davis. 3.5. Ole Miss hasn't scored in 5.5 minutes. Davis takes it inside. Rebound clutched onto by Morrell.
They just missed 2
Oh,
shots.
but look at this. Turnover. Trimble. Spin. Drive. Corkscrew. No. Rebound. Trimble fighting Pedulla.
Wow, they had some good opportunities there. They are playing so hard right now. You'd like to know where this game would be if Carolina would have had this effort the first 20 minutes of this game.
Pedulla spinning and putting it in. Oh, he pulls a Houdini.
And let's see if that breaks the spell. North Carolina had 3 opportunities. If they make all those baskets, they take the lead, but they missed them all, and now they're down by 6.
It's Pedulla with a nest of defenders around, puts it up and in. 15 for him.
Just spilled stuff all over.
Back in Milwaukee, stream CBS Sports HQ, your free 24/7 snapshot of all the sports that matters to you. Catch highlights, in-depth analysis, and breaking news anywhere you are. Download the CBS Sports app to watch today. So North Carolina was down by 22. They've climbed back, and with now a 6-point deficit. Dan, they've had a lot of close games. They've played 11 games decided by 3 points or fewer, the 4th most in Division I this season.
Well, and as Yogi Berra once said, it's like deja vu all over again for North Carolina fans. This is what they did against Kansas, against Michigan State, against Florida. They got way down, battled all the way back, and then just couldn't finish the deal at the end.
Powell inside with a spin, and they get the 2. Van Allen Lubin in foul trouble, puts it in. He is 6 of 6, and it's a 4-point game.
Well, after Washington's dunk, as I expected, Dan, Ole Miss went back to switching on the pick and roll, but Carolina executed beautifully.
Brakefield. It's Brakefield. Working, oh, it can get treacherous in there, and you saw what happened. Knocked away, retrieved, fake, Barnes up and fouled.
But North Carolina just not able to come up with the ball. Nice job by Lubin originally to block the shot, but he can't control it. The ball bounces off 2 North Carolina players. And then Van Allen Lubin, it looks like he got the foul there. I guess not.
I think Cadeau got it.
Cadeau,
it was
okay.
number 2 on him. First time at the free throw line for David Barnes, a senior from Memphis, who's played at Texas Southern and Sam Houston.
That's a great job by Ole Miss to come up with that ball. You know, North Carolina had a chance, but how many chances have we seen the Tar Heels have in the last minute or so?
Absolutely, but I'll tell you what, defensively, North Carolina's been great. It's been tough for Ole Miss to get decent shots here in the last few minutes. Everything's been difficult.
R.J. Davis in front defensively. Morrell got the screen, switch on D. Powell has it. Cadeau trying to sneak one in. He throws it away. A turnover for North Carolina.
Why are we bounce passing? You said it earlier, Dan, to a big guy posted up against the guard. That ball's got to go up in the air.
And you don't try to thread the needle in this situation.
Throw it over the top. He's got a huge size advantage there.
Davis to Brakefield. It's a 2. Rebound fought for, grabbed inside by Davis, cradling the ball, and it will be North Carolina's ball on the tie-up.
Well, North Carolina has had problems rebounding the ball, and this is a situation where Elliot Cadeau sort of saves the day. Dre Davis had that. He was turning toward the basket, and Cadeau tied him up.
Huge possession right here.
You get the feeling that this is almost a must score for North Carolina.
Absolutely.
And then on the defensive end, if they do score, it becomes a must stop.
Cadeau.
This is your guy.
Davis will rock it down the lane. Got it! What a play!
Wow, Morrell took an elbow to the face. That's what got Davis headed to the rim. So now we've got 2 guys on the floor.
And the officials are going to send everybody to the bench because with Morrell getting an elbow to the face, they're going to go look at it. And that's...
Well, it's the face is not what Morrell is holding. But see, he got hit, and it stopped him from playing. That's a great finish by R.J. Davis.
Wow.
The left hand taking the contact.
He is the 2nd all-time leading scorer for North Carolina.
Well, and that's amazing. I mean, think of some of the players.
Think of that.
Yeah, North Carolina's had a few guys who could play, Dan, over the years.
But they've
We're going to go to our rules analyst, Gene Steratore. Gene, what do you see on this play?
Yeah, up at the top before R.J. Davis starts to drive, that swim move when he makes contact with Morrell, because there is no whistle on the play. Here's a great angle of it as you see R.J. swim move up. He does make contact with Morrell. By rule now, there's been no whistle. Common foul called on the play. The only thing they can call here is F1, F2, or they just leave it alone as a nothing. To me, that looks like a basketball swim move. If it would be anything, guys, I think in real time, it's a cylinder foul because Morrell's and R.J. Davis a cylinder. I don't think that's a flagrant by Davis. So I think after they look at this, they leave it alone as a nothing, and we play on to the and one that proceeds after this movement.
Gene, we thank you. Ole Miss right now leading by 3. They're still reviewing, as you can see.
And this is a heck of a decision right here, because if they rule this a flagrant one,
it changes.
Then Morrell gets 2 free throws and Ole Miss gets the ball.
I'm with Gene on that. I don't see a flagrant there. I also don't see a cylinder foul, to be quite honest. I thought Morrell was in good position. He caught him. They probably should have called the offensive foul. They didn't. Let's play on.
Previous call on the court stands.
Gene was correct. Legal play.
Well, Davis is going to catch the ball here, and watch his elbows don't really go side to side. He's coming from the bottom and coming up, so his elbows are more vertical, and that makes it a legal play. But what a tremendous play.
Oh, my goodness. That was
So the first one's a legal play. It's unfortunate, but it's legal. The second one is absolutely outstanding.
That's a great finish and a chance to cut it to 2 right here.
Ole Miss led by 22. Total command in the first half. Slowly but surely, even with the loss of Jalen Withers, who had been so much a part of the Tar Heels' comeback as the season was ending, is out. They've gotten big play from big men up front in his absence. And it's a 3-point play. And it's a 2-point game. And approaching a minute to go.
It's been tough for Ole Miss to even find good looks, let alone get the ball in the basket.
Breakfield. Pedulla got the screen, the 3, bullseye! What a shot! The screen was there, as was the shot.
This is their first made 3 of the second half.
That was a well-executed play.
Yeah, it sure was. And with Sean Pedulla, what you have to do here, the screen is going to be set here, and the defender is going to go underneath the screen. He goes behind Breakfield, and that gives Pedulla some room. And Pedulla is a big shot maker. He made a long 3 in their SEC tournament game against Arkansas.
Well, when you're playing great shooters like Pedulla, especially this situation in the game, you can't take a body off. You've got to keep chasing him. Can't allow him the space there.
Great shots by Craig Silver and Andy Friedman. Ole Miss had missed the previous 9 threes before that hit.
Well, the foul situation is interesting, and the next foul for North Carolina will put Ole Miss in the 1-and-1, and Ole Miss has 8 fouls, so their next foul will only be 9, so it'd be 1-and-1 for North Carolina. And if you're North Carolina, you have to score quickly. It doesn't matter whether you score 3 or 2 in this situation, but you have to score quickly.
Pedulla's got 18, the guard for Ole Miss. 15 for R.J. Davis of the Heels.
You got to go.
Cadeau. He'll force, he'll feed. Powell, no! Leaping rebound, pulled down inside by Barnes.
I got a wide open look.
It's Pedulla who is hounded and fouled as he was on that outside. Trimble will pick it up. Half minute to go.
Well, Pedulla looked like he had a lane to the basket, and this is a great pass, and that is a great look for Powell.
Powell's a 37%
three-point shooter. You'll take that shot if you're Hubert Davis.
Listen, he needs time to get it off, but he had time. He was wide open. That was well executed. The pass was on time and on target. They just couldn't get it to go down.
1-1. Pedulla at the line. 2 of 3.
But here's the thing. When you look at these games, fans, media, everybody will look about the missed opportunities late. The problem was the first half of this game.
The lesson here is you can't get bound by 22.
Yep, they trailed at halftime, 44-26. Carolina did.
And just didn't put a lot into the game in the first half. They've made a furious comeback, but it's probably going to pull up short.
Davis will put up a desperation 3. No. Rebound out of bounds with the ball and himself is Dre Davis. Carolina's ball. 25 seconds to go.
Well, Davis goes chasing this one down. He gets in there, and that throws R.J. Davis gets in. That throws Dre Davis off balance. But it's a 3-possession game. There's 25.6 seconds left. It's almost impossible, I think, for North Carolina. There's got to be some miracle occur.
Well, and I would be surprised if there's an undisciplined play here by Ole Miss, which gives them something.
They get it in right here. Lubin, no. Rebound, foul. Morrell got it. Foul on North Carolina. And now Ole Miss can sense it.
Now, how many shots has North Carolina missed at the rim? And I'm not saying they were all uncontested, but North Carolina has had shot after shot close to the basket and hasn't been able to convert.
Then Alan Lubin picks up his 5th foul.
I'll tell you what, though, the discipline of Ole Miss, even there, they know where the clock is. It's not a 3. Morrell gets both hands up. He's either going to make it or miss it, but we're not stopping the clock. We're not sending you to the free throw line. We're not giving you a chance at 3-point plays. This team makes winning basketball decisions. They're very, very disciplined.
Here is Morrell at the line. No one has played more games for this program than Matthew Morrell. Cadeau. Brakefield is there. Saved by Davis. Out to Powell. The triple launched. Rebound, and that'll do it. Picked up by Davis. 9.8. Foul North Carolina. The Tar Heels got to within 2, 66-64. Then Pedulla knocked down a big 3. And Pedulla has 7 of Ole Miss's last 8 points. And here's Davis at the line.
Well, Davis is the guy who got him off to the start tonight and staked them to that big lead before he got in foul trouble.
Trimble has it. Washington. And that'll do it. Ole Miss beats North Carolina to advance to the round of 32. Carolina made it interesting, didn't they, huh?
Well, they did. I mean, they had a great comeback. Their defensive intensity picked up. They were able to get out in transition and play. They probably played, Dan, that stretch of minutes there the way Hubert Davis wanted the game to be played the entire night.
Well, without any question. And, you know, you come out there and you're a little bit leery. You know, you played the other night, and what happens is suddenly the Ole Miss makes basket after basket, and part of the reason is you're not really playing very hard defensively, but Ole Miss made them pay for it. They got way up, and North Carolina couldn't catch up.
On the winning side, you had Ole Miss moving on to the second round. And a tough finish for North Carolina, which had won a couple days ago in Dayton in the first 4. Let's send it over to Lawrence.
You ready?
Yes, we're ready, Coach. Sean, he's ready to go. Congratulations, UNC fought till the bitter end. How'd you close it out?
A lot of respect for our opponent today. We knew they were going to come back. A little disappointed in our poise in the second half, but this is March, survive and advance. We came here to win 2 games, so we're halfway there.
Sean, I saw you hyping up the crowd at the end when you committed with Beard and Ole Miss. How much of this was the reason?
Yeah, it was everything. I mean, for this school, for this fan base, and then for us, we put in so much work dating back to the summer, the early morning. So that's just me showing emotion and being excited.
You said you're working on Smelling the Roses and that you're terrible at it. Can you a little bit with this?
No.
Not yet?
Maybe if we win the second game of this tournament. So, but I'm proud of our guys. Sean and these guys, they had a lot of courage. And give North Carolina credit. Great comeback.
Lucky Charms tomorrow, Coach?
Always.
Always. Big time serial coach. Sean, congratulations. Kevin.
And now they're going to take aim at a Sweet 16 berth, and if they make it, it'll be only the second time in program history. So it's Ole Miss and Iowa State Sunday here in Milwaukee. A valiant comeback by the Tar Heels, but it falls short, and Ole Miss wins it. The tournament continues now on TBS with Grand Canyon against Maryland. TNT has Norfolk State and Florida at 6:50 Eastern. Back to the studio after this on TNT.